I don't know Telugu, but namaskaram to everyone. And one more thing I learned. Dhanyavadulu for, for, uh, for listening to me. Sit down, guys. I won't take a lot of time because your coordinator said 12 minutes. So I'll try and wrap this up in 10. My name is Raul Handa, and very excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me. On my way from Dubai, while I was coming here, I was thinking कि क्या बात करूं? All of you are BTech students, engineers, already very intelligent, very clever, right? Yes? Yes? Okay. Okay, good. Good. So, considering the fact that you guys are intelligent people, I will talk about three things. Three important things that some of you may be struggling with. I want to call my talk 404 Error Not Found, because all of you are techies. The first thing I want to talk about is career guidance. A lot of you have probably heard about this, was spoken about, or would have told to do this, do that in your life. The first advice I always give to someone who's in their 20s is anybody else's career path cannot be yours. And what I mean by that is, as an individual, there is this saying, no one size fits all. And that's actually a fact. When you look at, let's say you have a sibling, and your sibling did engineering, and then he did an MBA, and then he got a job in a very fancy company, and he did that for 3-4 years, and then he founded a startup, and now he's very successful. That does not happen with everyone. I'm sure a lot of you here would probably not even want to do engineering or didn't think of doing engineering, but we've only chosen to do engineering because it was the easiest thing to do. Because my friends did it. All my friends did engineering, so I'm also going to do engineering. All my friends are in this college, so I'm going to go to this college, or this was the most easiest option to get into. Life is not easy. When you look at, if I ask any of you here, most of you here, a lot of you will not have clarity on what are you planning to do after you finish your engineering, or after 3 years down the line, or 5 years down the line, right? Everybody has the same mindset in their mind. I'm going to graduate from VIT, I'm going to do my MBA, and then I'm going to go ahead and, maybe take up a job, work for 3-4 years and do that. But I'm here to tell you that that is not the only career path that you can take, or the only career path that you should actually take. Ask yourself, do you actually love what you're studying? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Do you actually love what you're doing? Not many of us ask ourselves that question. भाई ने किया, मम्मी पापा ने बोला इंजीनियर बन जाओ, बस मम्मी पापा ने बोला इंजीनियर बन जाओ तो बनना ही है ना? So, the idea and what I'm trying to tell you, what I'm trying to explain to you is, ask yourself, do you actually love what you're doing? Do you actually see yourself becoming a good engineer? I have a friend. He did chemical engineering, and then he did agricultural engineering, then he did mechanical engineering, then he did aviation engineering, then he went to Canada, and now he is a manager at a restaurant and doing hospitality. He found his passion after 12 years of what he was doing. I was speaking to one of your colleagues here today and they said, we're afraid of failing. You guys are afraid of failing. If I told you that I'm standing here today where our team employs 300 people, we went bankrupt 3 times in the last 10 years, but did an annual revenue of $50 million last year. So when I hear 20-year-olds say that they're afraid of failing, have you even lived your life yet? Have you? Ask yourself that question. What is failure? If you want to become successful in life, you have to fail. I'm sure your teachers, who teach you engineering day in and day out, they didn't become the best teachers on day one. They would have failed. But the fear of failure doesn't come, from within. It comes from societal pressure. It comes from what will my parents think, what will my colleagues say, and this is instilled, as you grow and as you are raised in this education system, and not the Indian education system. This is global in nature. You're always compared and benchmarked against other people. There's a first rank, second rank, third rank. Everywhere you go, no matter what you do, it will always be there. So you're never looking ahead. You're looking towards your left and you're looking towards your right. You're looking for, where is my friend going? What is he doing? What is this friend going? Where is he doing? And that's where the pressure comes up. And then if you have an elder sibling who's very successful, the pressure becomes even more. But please understand that the reason all our 5 fingers are not the same in size is precisely because your journey is not going to be the journey that your brother or your colleague has taken. He may have a different journey. Like I told you about my friend. So coming back to my friend, when I asked him, I said, dude, you did 16 years of engineering, 4 years each, and now you are doing a kitchen manager's job. Why? So he said to me that I have an elder brother who's very successful, has done amazing things in his life, and he was an engineer, so I tried. I tried every possible engineering that I could do, and eventually I realized 16 years later that this was not something that I wanted to do. But I kept doing it because I wanted to please my family, because my parents always wanted me to be an engineer. He spent 16 years of his life trying to figure out what he wanted to do. It took me 8 years to find out what my passion was. I wanted to become a pilot. Today, I take 200 flights in a year. It's okay to fail, and you have to fail. If you want to become a successful entrepreneur, you want to become a movie star, you want to become a model, you want to become a dancer, you will and you have to fail. That's how you learn. Until and unless you don't fail, it's not going to happen. So that's the first topic I wanted to talk about. The second topic I wanted to talk about is I know everything while attitude, which most engineers that I have met have. Because you were studious and you got great, scores and great numbers, you think you know everything. So when your teachers try and give you feedback, or they try to tell you that you are going wrong somewhere, you take offense. And I'm sure your vice principal sitting here would agree that not all students take feedback the way it should be taken, as feedback. When I went bankrupt for the first time, the first person I called up was my father, and I told him that, you know what, I went bankrupt in 2017. There's no money in our company account. So he paused and he said, okay, so you failed. You have 2 options. You can go back to the job that you were doing, or do what you did before. Before we went bankrupt, we founded the company, we did some great work. He said, just do the same thing again and see if it happens or not. And it did. It happened. We went bankrupt again. We went back and we moved on, tried raising money, didn't happen. We went back to square one. So we technically founded our company 3 times and went bankrupt 3 times before we found our feet right after COVID. So the biggest problem that I see, and I speak to a lot of engineering students, is that your ego. Please have some level of acceptability. I know your teachers may not be successful entrepreneurs. You know, today we have influencers on Instagram, and all these influencers, you guys take them more seriously than a lot of people who can actually share knowledge with you. And I'm not here to share knowledge with you. I'm here to tell you that it's okay to fail. Be open to feedback. Be open to learn. And you may end up making the wrong career choice, and that's okay too. If you chose engineering today and you got out and realized that engineering is not meant for me, the world is not over. It is not. Trust me. I was again, speaking to one of your colleagues here, and they said, we want to go into a top tier 1 college here in India. We want to be at a tier 1 college in India. I said, why? Because everybody's in a tier 1 college. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to be in a tier 1 college in this country or abroad. And I said, that's not the case. I didn't go to a tier 1 college in India. I did not go to any fancy colleges outside the world. But today, I consult for Stanford Seed. Without going to any fancy tier 1 college or without going to any foreign college, I consult for Stanford Seed. And I know a lot of other people who have built some amazing businesses and amazing brands without following the path that everybody else did. So if you're in a situation where you feel your life is 404 error not found, it's okay. Go back, read your code, and write your code again. Thank you very much.